think there's anything more frustrating than to constantly and consistently feel overwhelmed in your life. In this video, I want to talk about why some people are more apt to be chaotic in their minds, how you can learn to accept it and actually make it be a place of strength for you when you have the right tools. So stay tuned. Overwhelm is a result of chaos. Chaos stems from a lack of focus. Chaos is filled with unpredictability, confusion, and a lot of randomness. Now, I want you to think of that in direct relation to abuse. Unpredictability, randomness, and confusion. Those are all the things that abuse is steeped in. When we are in a relationship with somebody that is abusive, that person that is abusive is unpredictable. You never know what kind of mood they're going to be in, how they're going to react to something. What they do is often very random and leaves you feeling confused. When you have been in this type of relationship for a long period of time, and especially if you had this type of relationship with a caretaker as you were growing up, your whole psyche became habituated to this chaotic way of seeing the world. So it is basically programmed to be chaotic. And that can sound discouraging, but it also can be very helpful to understand that and to understand that you're wired a little differently, but that there is help and hope for this. The way out of chaos, and therefore the way out of an overwhelmed mind, is focus, because chaos lacks focus. It lacks anything central. So when you have something that you're focusing on, then the mind relaxes. Having a focal point is going to be central to allowing yourself to calm your chaotic, overwhelmed mind. But the problem is, a lot of times we don't know exactly what we're supposed to focus on. So I want you to think of the focal point as like the hub in a wheel. So the hub is in the middle and everything circles around it. So you got the circle of life. And if that hub gets out of kilter or whatever, then that whole wheel is going to go all over the place and chaos is going to ensue. So when you are in a constant state of chaos and overwhelm, you need to find the hub again. And what is the hub of your life? The hub of your life is you. Without you, you have no life. So what does a typical day start like with somebody that has a chaotic mind? Well, usually you get up in the morning and you pick up the problems from the day before, or the thing that is most prominent problem that you're working on right now. You pick that up and you carry it with you as you go into the day, and you start to ruminate on it. You start to go into your routines and what you need to do. And if you go to work, you get ready for work and you just move right into your day. You get this momentum going that started from the problems of the day before, the things that you need to get done, and your mind just starts to take on this chaos of all these things. Contrast that with, you wake up, you grab a cup of coffee, you light a candle, you think about the things that you're thankful for, you write in your journal, you meditate a little bit, and you check in with yourself. You check in with how you feel, what you need that day. You might check your schedule. You decide what's important on your schedule, what could wait if needs be. And you really, really start your day with you at the center, checking in with you at the center of your day and planning your day out accordingly, day by day, not months ahead. I'm going to do this on Tuesdays and this on Wednesdays and this on Thursdays. Yeah, we can, that works generally. We have, like I know I do my laundry on Saturdays and Wednesdays, but rather you come into your day with, how am I feeling and what do I need? And that is the focal point that is the start of the day. And your priority throughout the day is to keep that balance of feeling good. This type of life requires some presence. It requires slowing down, what I call turtle magic, slowing down, pacing yourself, carving out time for you. Now, some of you may be thinking right away, but I have blah, 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 and I got to get up and blah, already getting up at 5 o'clock, and then I got to go, and your mind is in chaos just thinking about getting up and having coffee. Yeah, I'd love to be able to do that, but I can't do that, right? Your mind is just in chaos about that. So hold on. I want you to really think about what I'm saying for a minute before you go into all the excuses and reasons why you could never put yourself at the hub of your life. I listened to one coach the other day, and she asked a question, and I thought it was a very interesting question. She said, how much can somebody pay you? They said, I'll give you $50,000 and all you have to do is give me 10 years of your life. Would you do it? Or what about if I gave you $500,000 for 25 years of your life? Would you give that? Would you do that? Would you make that deal with me? Okay, maybe that's not good enough. What if I promised you $7 million and all I need is 40 years of your life for that? Would you give that to me? And most people said, well, all of them said, no way, you couldn't put a price on my life. 40 years is over. But yet that's what we're doing. When we just rush through and we're giving all our energy away to this and to that and to this and to that without truly feeling like we're living life, and we're just waiting for the weekend to maybe enjoy ourselves a little bit, we are exchanging our life energy and our life force for what? Maybe some money, some praise, some admiration. People that are in this state of chaos are usually huge people pleasers. They usually feel very responsible for other people, and they have a lot on their plate, and they don't believe in any sense of the word that they can let any of it go, because if it did, it would make them make them a bad mother or a bad wife or a bad coworker or a bad friend, and they'd be seen in a bad light, yada, yada, yada. But I want to tell you something of what a chaotic, overwhelmed person actually is presenting to the world. So you may think you're presenting this person that does everything. She's making sure she's got the perfect dinner on the table, that she's giving her husband good sex, that her friends get her time once a week and they go out and do whatever, and that dog gets walked every single morning, and all the things. And yet, she may be bumping up against a lot of people that she feels like are just taking her for granted or are complaining about her. And she's thinking, how can you be complaining about me? I do so much for you. Look, I work myself ragged for you. And I'm going to tell you why people start to complain and don't seem to take you for granted and don't want to hang around you so much. This is why. Because when you're in that state of chaos and overwhelm, you are completely unavailable to people. You are unavailable to yourself, and at an emotional level, you are unavailable to other people. You cannot give them your full attention. You can't even give yourself your full attention. You may, in a surface way, listen to them, but you are not able to really, truly be there for them because you can't even be there for yourself, which we have to be able to be there for ourselves to truly know how to be there for somebody else. And what people start to see is not, oh, look at all the wonderful things she does. They may see some of that, but they're also seeing somebody that is full of resentment, that is tired, that is inattentive, that is frustrated, that is overwhelmed, and that really they don't want to hang around because what for? So that they can feel that way too and be ignored on top of it because they can't carry on a conversation with this person without this person being interrupted by their phone, their child, their dog, their husband, blah, 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 blah. I'm painting a picture here for you, okay? Not to shame anybody or not to make you feel bad, but to show you what chaos does. what overwhelm does. When we think that, oh, we can't sacrifice anything that we're doing, we have to stay in this chaotic, overwhelmed state, or things will unravel and fall apart. Well, the flashing news is they already are unraveling and falling apart. You're just unaware of it because you're too busy to really see that. And what happens is you end up crashing at some point and things start falling apart. Your marriage falls apart. Your children become resentful of you. Your dog dies, and then you feel bad that you didn't do more for the dog. And friendships fall away, and you're just sitting there alone going, all they do is try. What's going on? What's going on is you're not the hub of your life. And I think the most insidious part of all of this is that when you're in this state, you end up exhausted, discouraged, frustrated, overwhelmed, and going to bed having a difficult time sleeping because you never feel like you've done enough. You grab onto the few things that you didn't do, or you didn't complete, or that's still undone, or you still haven't figured out, and you toss it over and over in your mind, and you have a hard time falling asleep at night. And when you wake up, it's still there. And no matter what you do or how exhausted you are, you still feel like it's not enough. The reason why I'm able to describe this so well is because this is where I have been and where I was years ago. And still tries to creep in on me at times, and I have to really pull it under because I had a very chaotic, abusive childhood, and I've been wired in chaos. I have tried all the things, the schedules, and trying to organize my days out and my months out, and I've tried goals, and I've tried resolutions, New Year's resolutions, and I've tried positive affirmations, and I've tried so many things. But the one thing that finally began to crack the code of getting out of the overwhelmed, chaotic mind for me was getting myself pointedly at the hub of my life. So now I want to introduce to you what was recently created out of this abyss of chaos. I started making myself the hub of my life every morning by checking in several times a day. It began with, how do I feel and what do I need? And I realized I needed to start doing this in the morning. I needed to break patterns in my thinking, those patterns of picking things up from the day before. So I started my mornings out by, as soon as waking up in the morning, I would name 3 things I'm thankful for. I would stop my thoughts wherever they were going, and I would say, ooh, name 3 things you're thankful for. And I'm looking around the room, and sometimes it's hard to come up with them when you're just waking up, but it would stop the pattern of just automatically picking up from the day before. So I would, I'm thankful for my warm bed. I'm thankful for a day off. I'm thankful for indoor plumbing. Whatever came to me, I just would start my day off naming at least 3 things. Then that evolved into having quiet time in the morning, carving out that time consistently for myself, where I would sit down and I would check in. How are you feeling, Liz? How are you feeling emotionally right now? How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling physically? And what do you need? What do you need emotionally? What do you need physically? What do you need mentally? I started starting my day off with me. How do I feel? And from there, I started saying, okay, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? Even if I felt good, how do I want this day to feel? And I started to mix up a little magical elixir for me on a daily basis that started to pivot me out of this place of complete chaos, frustration, and overwhelm into a place of clarity and focus. And it felt magical. So then I started teaching this to my client because I realized how effective it was. And I ended up creating a PDF of mixing up a magical day and seeing your day as a cauldron. Your little inner witch is coming out, that powerful woman inside you is coming out, and she's mixing up her day exactly how she wants to mix it up. So I had a PDF in my Facebook group that I had for a while that people could print out. And with some of my clients, it was so loved and successful, and I loved it. I just loved it so much that I decided I want to do a journal so that I can actually keep it all in one place. And I added some other elements to it, and that's where I birthed the Daily Cauldron. This is available on Amazon, and I'm going to be giving away, for the next 10 people that book a full 55-minute session with me, I'm going to be giving away a copy of this. I will personally have one mailed to you. You can check it out on Amazon if you'd like to. I am so excited for people to get a hold of this. And let me tell you a little bit about what will happen when we hop on a 55-minute consultation. In this consultation, we are going to pinpoint where you are in the wheel of your life. Are you at the hub of your life? And if not, where are you in it? Then we are going to discuss what is keeping you from being at the hub of your life. And we will come up with a tentative plan and some action steps that you can start taking now to get yourself back in balance and get yourself back at the hub of your life. So our goal in this session is to take some of that overwhelm out of your mind, some of that chaos out of your mind, and replace it with some clarity and some focus, some action steps that are going to put a little lightness in your step and excitement in your heart about moving forward in life. I'm going to put a link below if you want to make that appointment with me. The first 10 people that book a 55-minute session with me, I am going to send you a free copy of my Daily Cauldron. Thank you for watching this video. If it's been helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And I'll talk to you later. Have a great day.